Hello everyone. So for today's video, I will be showing you how to use the spreadsheet function for CASIO FX911EX ClassWiz. So first, you need to press the menu or setup button, and then you will see here for number 8. This is a spreadsheet function, so press 8. And then you will see here, this is a spreadsheet with columns on the upper part and then rows on the left hand side. So before everything else, I will show you first how to set it up properly. So first you need to press shift and then menu setup button again, then you will see this. So first need to press arrow down and then you will see these following options. We will be using 4, which is spreadsheet, so number 4. Then here press 2 for show cell, and then you will choose number 2, which is value. This allows the cell to show the value of the cell rather than its formula, so value. And then okay, so it's now properly set up. Now we will be now solving for fi times xi, where xi is the class mark and f sub I is the frequency. So let's input our values first. So for frequency, that's 16, 57, 12. You may skip this long part. Now for the class mark, okay. Now, so we have already inputted our values. So for column A, this is for our frequency, and for column B, this is for our class mark. So first, we will be solving for the summation of f sub I times x sub I. So how do we do that? So first, you need to press option. Okay, so after you press option, you will now press 2, fill value. Okay, so for here, we will input our formula for fi times xi. So our formula is fi times xi, but remember that our fi, or our frequency, is column A, and our class mark, which is xi, is column B. So if we want to get the values of fi times xi, our value here would be a1 times b1. Okay, because this is for your frequency, which is fi, and this is for your xi. So how did I type that? So that's alpha. You press alpha, then you see here, and then you press the minus, so that's a, and then you press 1 times alpha b. You can see here the red one, it will call that, so b1. Now after you put the formula, so that's a1 times b1, so that's basically fi times xi. Now you press equal, and then it goes to the range. Now for the range, remember that we have 1, 2, 3, we have 8 classes for our distribution. So the range of values for the third column, and remember our third column is fi times xi, it will be from C1 to C8. Okay, C1 to C8. Now when you press equal, it will show all of the values of fi times xi. So here is 16 times 24.5, that's 392, 57 times 34.5, etc, etc. So you'll see here all the individual values of fi times xi. Now whenever you are required to input to list down all the values of fi times xi, you may simply just copy all that is indicated here and you easily get all of the individual values of fi times xi. Now, how do you get the summation of fi times xi? Now here, from the last cell value that we have for column C, which is, this is cell C8, now you go one cell below that, so you're technically at cell C9. We will now solve for the summation of fi times xi. So now what you do is, now you press the option function. Now after pressing the option function, you'll press the down button and look for the sum function. So after finding the sum function, you will press 4 to call it, and then here, now we're back at the spreadsheet. We will type the range of the values of inside column C that we want to sum up. So that will be from C1 to C8. Okay, so now alpha C, so C, we're pressing here C, and then alpha again to press the colon here, and then alpha again to call C, and then 8. Now you will see here, after I press equal, now cell C9 now indicates the summation of fi times xi. Now for another explanation or another use of the spreadsheet is also solving for the summation of fi times xi squared, which is commonly used also for other formulas. Now, it is also applicable through the spreadsheet function. Now, let me show you how. So, just how we did it for the individual values of fi times xi, we can also solve for the individual values of fi times xi squared. So, now, again, with the option function, we will press 2 for fill value. And then here, we simply write the formula for fi times xi squared. Now, again, remember, our fi is column A. So, let's write that. Okay, hold on. Here. Column A. So, that's A1. So, that's for fi times xi squared. So, remember, our xi is column B. So, we call column B. Now, we will square it because it's xi squared. Now you press equal. Now for range, again, since we have 8 classes for the distribution, our range will be from D1 to D8. Now remember, we're using column D because for our column C, it's already for the summation. It's already for the values of fi times xi. So we use another column, which is column D. Now for the individual values of fi times xi squared. Now here, we simply change this to D8 and then press equal. There you go. Now for D, this is now the individual values of fi times xi squared. Now, we can also take the summation of the fi times xi squared using the sum function once again. Now, again, we press option, and then go down once, go down twice, go down thrice. Now, you press the sum function. Now, we will call all the cell values from column D, which is from D1 to D8, because that's what we want to sum up. So, again, alpha, you find D here. Now D1, and then we find the column function here. Now we just call it with alpha, and then we use alpha again to call D. And there we go. That is the summation of fi times xi squared. That is all, and thank you for this video.